Good morning. Welcome back to day 4 of the 13 Days of Radiance challenge. I am Amanda Ananda, the Tantric Mama, and it's truly, truly, truly my honor to be on this journey with you. Today's topic is one that is really near and dear to my heart because it is one of the practices that catapulted my self-growth spiritual journey 4 or 5 years ago. And that is the one of consent and boundaries and boundary restoration. Just being aware of what my boundaries are was a hurdle for me. And then actually communicating that and trusting that it would be received was a whole other thing that I had to learn. And the vital importance of this in sustaining your energy and your ability to experience pleasure is massive. This is the foundation of that. And so I'm excited to spend a little bit of time today sharing some of the knowledge that I have around it and a practice that I'm hoping will help bring you into alignment so that you're aware of what your needs and boundaries are, and will inspire you to communicate that to those around you so that you're able to experience more yeses to yourself. And I'll explain that in a moment. But when we're able to communicate our boundaries to others, we feel more honored and respected, and our bodies are more open and softer and able to receive the love that's around us because we are in a trusting space. Our bodies are in a trusting energy. They're open, they're receptive. And when we don't feel we can communicate our boundaries, there will be a baseline of rigidity, a baseline of contraction, and you're not open to receiving the pleasure and love around you. So I just need to name that there's this really obnoxious fly buzzing around me, and it's already driving me nuts. So I apologize if that ends up distracting me from what we're talking about. So what happened for me, and some of you may or may not know this story because I always share it at the consent workshops that I do, is that I went to an event in California 5 years ago, and the event opened with a cuddle party. And I was super psyched because I had just gotten separated, and one of my complaints during my marriage was that my cuddle needs were not met. And so obviously during separation, they weren't met either. And I was like, yes, this is going to be awesome. And I get there and realize within the first hour that I do not have my no. And that I'm a people pleaser who has never said no in her entire life. And that this is a big part of the reason why I was going through separation at the time. And after the first hour, I finally got the courage up to say no. And because before that, I had basically been saying like, yeah, okay, sure. And then being a mannequin because I didn't really want what was happening and just was like really awkward. So I finally got the courage up to say no, and the person said, well, thanks for taking care of you, and like skipped away. And I was like, oh my God, I just got permission to say no. And it felt like these chains fell off of me. I felt unleashed and free like I'd never felt before. And this was a huge twist in my life journey, honestly. And I realized that we should have all had this training in like middle school, and we'd all be in such different places if we had a better understanding of our boundaries, the ability to communicate them, and the ability to receive other people's boundaries without taking it personally. So you never know how honoring someone's truth is going to completely change their life. But first we need to be aware of what is our truth even, because some of us have been raised or conditioned out of our truth. We don't even know what it is that we need or want because we may have been trained as a child to not actually pay attention to those needs. And so we bypass them and just kind of say yes to whatever is needed from us. So the first part of our practice is going to be tapping into what I call the three gems, which is the mind, the heart, and the body, or the womb, and figuring out what are the truth of these three centers. And it's interesting because even within ourselves, these three centers can want different things. And that's what I refer to as being out of alignment, is when, say, your body would like to have sex with someone, your heart is kind of close to them, maybe an argument earlier in the day, and your mind is like not even on that subject, right? Your mind is thinking about work or what you got to do for the kids or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to guide you through the three gems meditation. And that'll help you recognize just what are these three centers, what are their truths. And from there, you can get your own needs met. So maybe that work thing can be done in 5 to 10 minutes, or that thing that needs to be taken care of with the kids. Maybe you can voice to your partner, like, yeah, I physically want to come together, but emotionally I need to clear the snippiness we had with each other earlier today. And then that way your whole being and your whole body is a full yes to whatever's happening. And then I'm going to offer a challenge to you, so which is part of our challenge today. So I hope that this serves you, and I invite you to make it fun and playful. So this can be a serious exercise, and we can be very rigid about it, or we can, I invite you to invite a more playfulness into it. Studies show that when we bring that childlike curiosity and playfulness, we learn something exponentially faster than if we learned it in a very rigid, seems to be the word that keeps coming to me today, in a very like rigid, structured way. So I invite you to check in with your three gems throughout the day. And then I invite you to playfully say yes to yourself as many times as you can today. So what I mean by that is, when someone asks you to do something and you recognize, like let's say for example, you recognize you need a night in. You're going to take a night, you're going to have a bath, you're going to read a book, you're going to like meet your needs that night, and you're super excited to do it, okay? Because you know that if you get this night in, you're going to feel amazing. And then a friend comes to you and is like, oh, you have to come out with me, this concert's going to be amazing, or this party's going to be amazing, or whatever, you have to come. If you say yes to your friend, you're actually saying no to yourself. Let me repeat that. So if you say yes to your friend, you're actually saying no to yourself and what you actually need. And so the reverse is true. If you say no to your friend and you honor your truth that you need to stay in and take care of yourself that night, you're saying yes to yourself. And so my challenge for today is, how many times can you say yes to yourself today? How many times can you recognize what your needs are and honor that truth, honor what your needs are by saying yes to it? So with that, I invite you to get comfortable. If you have incense, light it, or candles. You're welcome to hold your crystal and to gently close your eyes. And take a few big, deep breaths. And letting go on the exhale. Coming into the body. Letting go of the sigh. Bringing awareness deep into your belly, into your womb. And I invite you to put your thumbs, tips of your thumbs together, the tips of your pointer finger together in an upside down triangle, and to place that with the thumbs at the belly button and the pointer fingers down above the pubic bone. Taking a deep breath in, allowing the belly to expand into your hands. With the intention to release and let go on the exhale, fully arriving into your body in this moment. Letting go of the Yoni Mudra, placing hands, palms up on the knees. And bringing awareness to the first gem, to the mind. Taking a deep breath in, bringing light to the head. Exhaling, letting go of any thoughts that are present, allowing them to drop away, literally visualizing them falling out of the head. Or maybe floating away like down a stream. Or my favorite, being encapsulated in a water droplet, dissolving, falling into the all. So inhaling, bringing light, pulling it into the head, allowing the head to sparkle. Exhaling, letting go of any thought that may be present. Doing this for a few moments. Just noting if anything specific keeps popping up without judgment. And letting it go repeatedly, need be. And asking this area, is there anything you need in this moment? Just whispering, listening for the whisper. Just taking note. Deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Breathing into the heart. Bringing awareness into the heart chakra. Feeling it expand as you inhale. Contract as you exhale. Feeling each inhale, this sparkling light upon a flower, blessing, gracing this area. And as you exhale, letting go of any heaviness the heart may be holding, asking this center, is there anything you need right now? Listening for the whispers. Taking note. Taking a deep breath in. Exhaling fully. Dropping deeper now, all the way into our womb center, into the belly. You're welcome to bring a hand there to bring extra support and awareness. Breathing deeply, allowing the belly to soften, expand. Each inhale in, allowing the belly to soften a little bit more, letting go of the tension and rigidity we hold here. So you inhale, bringing loving light and energy to this space. And as you exhale, letting go of any heaviness or stagnancy from here. Letting it flow out of you. Letting it go. And asking this area, this gem, the body, what do you need right now? Taking note of this truth. And taking a deep breath in, expanding the belly, the heart, all the way up into the mind. And exhaling deeply. So that 2 more times. Inhaling, expanding the belly, the chest, the heart, all the way up into the mind. Exhaling, letting go. One more time. Just taking a moment to bring awareness to your auric field, the energy that is subtly swirling around your body, and taking note of how far out this field floats. Where does it end? Maybe an inch from your body, or maybe a foot from your body, maybe wider than that. Anywhere in between. Just beginning to recognize and play with this energetic boundary. Inviting you to expand it a little bit wider to see how that feels. So with each breath in, expanding it a little bit. Noticing how your body feels in response to your energy field expanding. Maybe allowing it to expand to fill the room that you're in. Just noticing your body's response to that. Does it feel more soft and supple and open and inviting? Or does it feel tense, contracted, clamped, shut down? And then inviting your energy field all the way back in so it's touching the skin of your body. It's as tight as it can be. Noticing how that feels. Noticing the difference between these two experiences. And noticing that you have control of this. So if at any time you feel a need to have a tighter field, you can always bring it in. And if ever you desire to have a wider field, you can always send it out. And now just taking stock of the energy field and noticing what color it is. Noticing if there's any holes and remembering to check behind you. And wherever there's hole, just envisioning a paintbrush, the same color of energy as your field is, and just filling that hole in. Closing it up, filling these leaks, sealing your auric field with love. Anything else you feel you need. Protection, safety, nurturance. Take a deep breath in this sealed, loving field. Bring your hands into prayer, bowing your head just a little bit, and taking a moment of gratitude for yourself for showing up today. A moment of gratitude for this life that you've been given. A moment of gratitude for your willingness to learn these simple tools. Anything else you want to express gratitude for? Allowing the energy of gratitude to amplify your auric field, your heart, this field of love. When you're ready, slowly opening your eyes, coming back to the room. And so I invite you to do a miniature version of this practice throughout the day. Whenever something is asked of you, or you have an inquiry, to just take a moment and breathe a few breaths into the mind, a few breaths into the heart, and a few breaths into the belly. And just ask, what do I need? What is my truth? And if you can meet your own need, do so. If you need help meeting your need, make sure to ask for that. And if it's a need like I need 3 hours at the beach and you don't have that today, just note that and try to schedule that in for the next few days. And take a moment whenever someone asks you to do something to really put your hand on your belly and a hand on your heart and take a deep breath in. Just feel what your truth is to their request. And if you're a yes, say yes. And if you're a no, say no. And if you're not sure, my recommendation is to say no. to honor their request with an answer and feel into, why was I a maybe? Why was I unsure? Was it the time that they needed this to happen? Was it a very specific, like you like this person, you want to do something with them, but you don't want to eat ice cream with them, or a certain sexual activity, whatever it may be. Figuring out the nuance of why you were a maybe. And then you can engage in conversation again with them and say, you know what? I thought about it and I do want to hang out with you. I just don't want to go to the movies, or whatever the case may be. Because coming back to again, know that when you say no to another, you're saying yes to yourself. And the more that you do this, the more that you engage in this practice, a stronger, healthier relationship you'll have with yourself, and a stronger, healthier relationship you'll have with those around you. And they will trust your yeses and trust your nos more. I love you. I honor you. It's such a pleasure to witness you. Keep sharing and posting about your journey. I am so, so touched and moved to support you and to cheerlead you. And wishing you and your loved ones so many blessings as you move throughout the day. Mwah.